This is a large battery. It holds more than 8000 power, and I recently showed that it's more than enough to start a new base and unlock a gateway chamber. But what if I wanted 100 large batteries? Would that be too much? Would that break the game? Who needs 800,000 power in Astroneer anyway? Those are all legitimate questions, but I came up with an easy 4-step solution to make it happen. And watch out for step number 4. That's a special, completely optional one. But let's start with step 1. Get lithium and zinc. Since the recipe for one large battery is 2 lithium and 1 zinc, that means I'm gonna need 200 lithium and 100 zinc. So for that, I'm gonna use automated trade platforms and a lot of scrap. All I need to do is just set this to sphelerite, and we're gonna use 4 scrap, so I'm gonna put the count repeater on 4, and then I'll put 1 extra scrap on this auto arm. Now let's enable output on all of these scrap canisters, and this should basically be more than we need, at least I hope so. Now I just need 1 extra sphelerite in the selector slot of this, so it doesn't take the scrap, but you can see everything works as it should, and this is gonna launch right now. So there it is, everything's automated. We are gonna fill all of these up with zinc. Now on this other side, I still need to bring the scrap all the way from up there. We've got an Astroneer scrap farm which works really fast, and I need to set up this other thing. So I've got right here a storage sensor and the count repeater. This is fairly quick. I'm just connecting things like that, and then to the count repeater and the count repeater to the trade platform, and this is gonna be set to 8. Pretty easy, right? I'll bring the scrap, and then we can start getting our lithium as well. We're gonna need a ton of everything. And now let's just have a sphelerite in here, and this one can take them all. They'll get smelted into zinc, and then this auto arm will only take the zinc and place it in all of these. I also have an aluminum scrap farm working right here. That's just in case we need a little bit of extra scrap, but I think we should already have enough. And this is the Astroneer scrap farm. Yes, it's huge, and it's a little bit backed up because these got completely filled. So I'm just gonna take these big ones, and I'll bring them back when they're empty. If you wanna see how I built this whole Astroneer scrap farm, make sure to subscribe because there's a lot more cool stuff on there and more coming. But that's enough about that. Now let's focus on our batteries here. We are getting the zinc in there, which is really good. And I came back with a ton of scrap. We should have more than 800 scrap right here. So I'll just put these in the middle. Let's enable output on both of them, and we just need things in the selector slots of the auto arms, and now we can turn this on. So this should work exactly the same if I hooked everything up correctly. This needs to be set on lithium though, so there we go. And once the lithium comes back, I'll put it in the selector slots of these auto arms. And then on this thing, we're gonna collect all the lithium. All we need is just 200 of it, but we can store 400, so the more the merrier. And before anyone comments that I'm doing this in creative, I'm in survival. This is the filming save. I do have a creative duplicate. This is for thumbnails and for some b-roll, but I'm not in that right now. I'm in this save, you can see it, I'm right in there, it's survival, okay? So I don't want to see any comments saying that I cheated and did this in creative, alright? And yes, I did forget to put the extra scrap on the second auto arm, but it should all be good now. So we'll get this back in action. And it's doing it correctly now. We are sending 8 scrap, which means we're gonna get 2 lithium back from each one. So we are already gathering the lithium, and now we need a place to craft all of these batteries, and then a different place to get them filled up. And I think I'm gonna use the large stacked platforms for these. This can hold 2 large batteries, so I'm gonna need 50 of them. That means 150 resin, so I'll get to work on that. So an hour later, we finally have all the resources. Let's move over to step number 2, craft the large batteries. I also built this thing over here, and I painted it purple because I think that's gonna contrast really good with the yellow of the batteries. We've got 216 lithium, and then we should have 130 zinc, I think. So I think we'll get more batteries than we need to, but that's not an issue. I can just throw them somewhere in the base. I also have 4 medium printers that are already set to large batteries, and everything's connected to power, so all I need is to just enable output on all of these, and we should start crafting. There we go, 2 of them are already active, 3, and the 4th one should start. So we are crafting 4 batteries at a time. To get to 100, that means we'll need to go through this cycle 25 times. So while that's happening, I'm gonna unpack all of these platforms. I have 50 large stacked platforms here because every platform holds 2 batteries. And I built this square area to have 20 on each side plus 10 in the back, so that's 50 platforms for 100 batteries. So I'm gonna get to unpacking these. It's already nighttime, like 3 days later, and we are still not done crafting these, but I should move them because this is gonna start glitching through. We still have more than 50 lithium left, so that means we've got a couple more of these to craft. And now it's time to unpack all of these platforms. I also extended this purple floor since it wasn't big enough, and now just listen to this awesome time lapse. And there we have it. That's 50 large stacked platforms next to each other. Now I need to connect every single one, so that should be extremely fun. I just need to go through the back like this so we can see the connection from the front. Oh, I fell. And because these have 2 different tiers, I can easily just do every single connection through the back, and this is gonna look really nice. Alright, so everything's connected. I ended up using some extenders in the back there to make it look a little bit nicer. And now we should just connect everything to power through here. So I guess that's it. So now all the platforms should have power, and before we move on to the next step, we need to unpack all of these batteries. So that's gonna take a while, but first I'm just gonna place each one in its spot, and then we'll do another satisfying time lapse of unlocking everything.
One eternity later.
I finally have all of them on the platforms here, so it's time to unpack them all, and that's gonna be the start of step 3, fill up the batteries. Now if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like on the video, it helps me out a lot, so thanks for doing that, and let's get that satisfying time lapse. There we go, that's 100 large batteries in a single base here. This looks amazing. Look at them starting to light up as they get filled. Wow, filling these is gonna take a while. The power needs to go through every single one and reach all the way in the back here. But the good thing is step 3 basically completes itself. I just have to wait until all of these get filled, and we do have some extra batteries. I have 8 more, which I'm just gonna use in a different base. Now I'll wait for them to get filled and I'll tell you how long it took. And I'm back. This only took 1 hour and 10 minutes. I was honestly expecting it to take a little bit longer, but we've got it. We have 100 full large batteries. That should be 819,200 units of power right there. So yeah, just more than 800,000. Now it's time for step number 4. Blow up the batteries. Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean blow up the batteries? I spent the last 4 hours doing this. Well, here's the deal. I'm gonna blow all of them up, but I will do it in a duplicate save because I do want to keep this for the future. Just checking in again, I'm still on survival. I did all of this, I filled all of them up in survival mode. Now it's time to do a duplicate, and I'm just gonna name it 100 large batteries. So let's load up the new save. Now that I'm in a different save, I can put it on creative. Now that we are in creative, we can see the destruction from above, and I'll just start by spawning a bunch of dynamite around here. Do you think the game will end up crashing if I do this? I guess we'll find out. But first, let's throw some hydrazine into the mix too, just for fun. This is gonna make the explosion much bigger and also a little blue. So now that we did all of that, it's time to blow it up. So here we go. This is gonna be insane. Okay, my whole screen just froze. Not all of the batteries were destroyed, but all of my base was. Look at the size of this crater, and I'm lagging really bad. Let's go down and see all the resources drop. Oh my god, this is so far down. This is like 2 cave layers down. Look at all the resources dropping. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. I should do this more often. I don't know why, but it's just so fun blowing stuff up in Astroneer. Oh, and look at all the hematite. Look at the hematite just going down. This crater is a lot bigger than I expected, but not all the batteries got blown up. This far side right here kind of survived, but the other ones are just destroyed. Oh, and look at my base. I wasn't expecting this to go so far into the base. Oh, and even here, look at all the resources. Look at all of that. At least the Astroneer farm is still good. Except... I mean, the rail works. So this was spared, but look at how far some platforms got thrown out. Look at this thing. This is almost out of the atmosphere here. Just a random light. But if you enjoyed all of this, make sure to subscribe. There's a lot more stuff coming out every single week. And in the meantime, you can go watch this video next. I've been Games for Life, and I'll see you there. Cheers, Astroneers!